Hey guys, MotorCarNut here, and today we're going to be removing an engine and replacing it with a salvage yard engine that was running good. That's what the customer wants. We heard this one run, and we're going to put it back in. This engine removal and install, this is a 2016 Kia Rio, and this swap would be from 2012 to 2017 Kia Rio, the Hyundai Accent, the Kia Soul, and the Elantra with the 1.6. All right, there'll be maybe few differences, such as if you see this cover here, it has this mount for this engine cover, and you look on this one, and it don't have it. It has it over here and here because it's a little bit different. This is a 2012, a 13 Kia Soul, so the engine cover is a little different. Things are a little different. We may have to take the valve cover. We may have to take the intake manifold and swap it. I don't know. I don't know until I get there. All right. The first and foremost thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up, drain the oil, and drain the coolant. All right. Before going underneath, take off the radiator cap, oil fill cap, and the dipstick. Disconnect the negative battery. Put your parts in a nice clean area, so as you take them off, you don't get confused, especially if you're doing this for the first time. So in case you're wondering what's going on with this engine, you look over here and see this. That's a big chunk of a connecting rod that went right through the block. So if you watch my videos, you know I like rebuilding what we have in the car, but unfortunately, we can't do that with this one. All right. So now, when you're draining the coolant, do not let it go into the ground. All right. Put it in approved containers. You know, some kind of a container, because if animals lick that, it's a sweet smell. They can lick it and get sick. All right. So always, drain the fluids the proper way. All right. And there's a cock on the radiator on the bottom. You just turn it, let it drain out. Over here for the oil, drain it out. If you just changed the coolant, or maybe a couple of months old, and it's not contaminated with any oil, you can reuse it. Other than that, you discard it. The oil drain plug is 17 millimeter. All right, what I like to do, I like to jump around a little bit. Being that I'm down here, I know I'm gonna have to take this cover off. It's 10 millimeters. Take this off, take the wheel off. All right, I think there was a 19 or 21, the lug nuts, I'm not sure. Take these two AC compressor bolts out. Those look like 12 millimeter or 13 millimeter. All right, same thing with over here, this plastic piece. Now the exhaust over here, that looks like a 13 or a 14 millimeter. We take that one out. I don't know if I'm gonna take, the exhaust bolts don't look like they wanna come off over here. And the ones over there look kind of crappy too. So maybe I'll just take the exhaust manifold bolts off and leave this whole mechanism, the whole exhaust in the car. Let's see how it goes. All right, we leave this alone. All right, we're gonna take this off like I just said. And we're gonna go to the top after this. Well, there's other bolts here. This is 14s for the transmission to engine bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna continue after that. There's a crank sensor over there. We'll have to disconnect that. All right, the lug nut bolts were 21 millimeter. And this plastic cover right here, those bolts are 12 millimeter. The little shield that was there, those two are 10 millimeter. And these are 14 millimeters. We're gonna take those out now. All right, those bolts are 14 millimeter. All right, next, we're gonna take the converter bolts off. You see this has a little thing there, it goes there, you just take a screwdriver. You just push it and pop it out. It's going to expose the bolts. Those are 17 millimeter. All right, you turn you get a 22 millimeter socket with a 1/2 inch drive and turn it clockwise until you get all the converter bolts out. And when you're using a 17, make sure you use a 6-point socket. Don't use a 12-point for risk of stripping them. I just took out 2. I'll show you what I do. All right, we just crank this until you see the next one. And just zip it out. All right, I took off these 2 12mm bolts for the AC compressor on the bottom right now. There was this bracket, all right, that goes like this, up in there. And these 2 right here are 14mm bolts. And the one that screws in there is 14mm. And you just take this bracket off. All right, now on the transmission to engine bolts, there's 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the bottom. All right, we're on the top. I took the battery out. I don't like working with the battery just in case something hits it. It can spark. Over here, you got a hose. Just take a pliers, take that off. Throttle body over here, 10mm. Take this off. There's two little clamps right, these little things right here. Take them off. Take this off. Take that off. After that, take the filter. Good idea to check it and replace it if it's all dirty. This one looks okay. 10mm here, 10mm there. Take this box out. I like to take it out because it gives a little bit more room. You can leave it in if you want. Okay, then we're going to take this off. Just a little, these fasteners. You can unscrew them with a Phillips and pop out the clips. Take this plastic piece off so we can get to the hose over here. I want to take this plastic neck off over here. There's 2 10mm. You take the hose off of here, and then you take the hose off of the radiator. You take the overflow hose off and just take this piece out. That's what I'm going to do right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold. So, because if you look over here, from here to here, doesn't look like the engine's going to want to come out. All right. Normally, I mean, if I'm in the shop, I drop it. I drop everything to the bottom, but we're doing this for the do-it-yourselfer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take off the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold, make everything skinnier, so to speak. All right. And we're going to take off the tensioner right here. The alternator has a tensioner for the serpentine belt. It's not automatic. We're going to take this off. All right, we're going to, basically what you want to do is take all the wiring and fold it all over this way, all the harnesses, fold everything this way out of the way. All right, so what I'm going to start doing, like I said, you can mark things. If this is your first time doing it, you can mark things so you know where they go back. When you take a sensor off, you can put, number 2 and number 2 so you know where that one goes, things like that. All right, so that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll show you what I did. All right. And over here, for the ignition coils, there's a little plastic security tab. You just put a screwdriver in there and you push it up like I just did here. Put it in. When you lock it in, and you just go like this to push it up. All right? And a lot of times, when you bend everything over, when you put it back, all the connectors are pretty much going to be bent where they go. So it's hard to mess it up. But you can mark them like I said, if you want to. And look at this. That's not good. You see these wires are bare? The cover was laying on these wires. That has to be... Anyway, so that's what you do. Continue taking all the harnesses off and try and bending everything out of the way. Over here, and here, there's going to be 10mm bolts holding this harness to the head. Same thing over here and here. All right. I had this ground strap was right here. Instead of taking it off there, I took it off here. I took off this battery tray, so it's just easy to get to this side for filming, but you don't have to take it off if you don't want to. If you want to take it off, 12mm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 10mm here that holds the harness. This harness right here. And over here, 10mm, and the 10mm over here. That the computer, so you can just move it out of the way so you can get to this bolt. All right, so I do that so I can take it out so it's easy to see the sides over there. All right, to disconnect the fuel line, you can do it two ways. There's a tool right in here. It's actually built in. You slide the plastic piece over all the way inside the silver tube, and you push in, and then you push both out. All right? A lot of times they're stuck in there. If you can't do it, what you do, easy, disconnect this line. These two 10 millimeters over here, lift the whole pump, all right, and push it to the side. All right, I'll do that to show you the easier way to do it. All right, this is a 19 millimeter. Take this off first, then take the two 10 millimeter bolts off. And when you take the two 10 millimeters, you take them little by little. You don't want to cock this to the side. You can snap the plunger. All right, and then you release it. And put a rag here when you're taking this off so it doesn't squirt in your face, the fuel. All right, and you can take it just like this with the whole thing hooked up. All right, and make sure that this is not broken or nothing like that. And just put it to the side, put a rag around it, and then there's gonna be a follower in here. You see this? You have to examine that, make sure the ball is good. If you're reusing it, this one's good. All right, I'll just keep it in there for now because I'm not taking the valve cover off. I'm taking the whole engine out, so just keep it in there for now. And that's how you do that. To release this harness from this clip over there, I'll show you on the donor motor. It's basically under here. You're gonna take a screwdriver and place it under here like this. And lift it up like that, and then you pull the whole thing out like that. All right, and when you're taking the intake manifold off, on the bottom, you're gonna have a 10 millimeter that hooks onto this. Disconnect this, all right? And any other plugs you see over here, okay, you just disconnect them. We're gonna go back on the top now. All right, and this is how I took it. These are the hoses I took off. Left everything intact over there. And on the bottom, but I told you that 10 millimeter went here, and there's a little fastener that went here, and this plug right here. And for the, oh, look at all of that oil. Well, that we all know that this thing is blown. But anyway, so that's how you take that out. Took the intake off. Now you can see the starter. You get to the starter bolts. There's one here and one underneath here. Where is it? Hold on, let me see if it's under here. All right, let me check that out. I know there's one here. I gotta see what the other one is. I took off the knock sensor that was here, only because when I take the starter, I'm just gonna take the starter and move everything over here. Most of the wires connected. This went to the alternator. All right. So just like this is all gonna just bend out of the way nice and neat. This stays with the engine. Actually, the bolt that goes over here, we took it out on the bottom when I was counting the engine to transmission bolts. So that's one of them right there. You just take this one out and the starter should move out of the way. I'll do that right now. All right, so now we're gonna concentrate on the exhaust manifold. We're gonna get it, we don't probably have to take the cowl off if you want to, but let's see if we can do it this way. You look in here, you have, I think those are 10s. You got 3 10s. You got to take off. And over here, we have 2 O2 sensors. See, they slide on this thing, and all you do is just pry it out, and they pop out. And take them off of these retainers right here. You see this? Just take them out of here and out of here. All right, so we're gonna take this shield off with 1, 2, and 3 number 10s. See if we can get them in there. Actually, here's a bird's eye view of the engine. This is what I was telling you to take off. This just slides right out. The same thing with this one, has a little tab. It slides out of there. You take these out of here, and we're gonna get 1, 2, and this one all the way down here. May have to get that from underneath, I don't know. We're gonna take this off, and then we're gonna take the exhaust bolts off and move the exhaust out of the way so that stays in the car. Just trying to make it as simple as possible. All right, so after you get that out, there's gonna be 9 exhaust manifold bolts. All right, you see them all over here? You gotta do all 9 of them, and we're just gonna move the exhaust out of the way. All right, and after you do that, what I want to do, you take off this bottom hose. This tube, where the thermostat is, and this housing is kind of long, so I'm gonna take this off and maybe take the dipstick out. To do that, why? Because so we can move when we move the engine, when we take it out and move it, this may hit. So I'm gonna see if it comes out. Sometimes they don't like coming out, but I'm gonna take that one out, take this one out if it comes out, and then we're gonna continue. Almost out. All right, actually, it comes right out on mine. It has a little O-ring in there. If not, what you can do is you could probably get a lock wrench on the bottom over here and tap it with a lock wrench up from the bottom if you have a problem. This one came right out. All right, so now it gives us a little bit more room, so when we take the engine out, we can slide it up and hopefully get it out of this, just this without taking anything else off. All right, and the thermostat housing, these are 12 millimeter, not 10. So after this, we're gonna take off the 2 compressor bolts, one here and one here, those also 12s. And we're just gonna move it out of the way and then continue. You see, we got it off. It's loose. What you're gonna do now is over here is another bolt. Take that one out and leave this one as the last one. Because see, it's starting to separate. This is the last one. What we're gonna do, we're gonna hook up a crane to here and here. So it's a little tricky because when you put it here, it's gonna hit. So I may have to put something over here. So I gotta see what I'm gonna do, because I don't want it to hit this, and then when we put it back, it'll be even harder. It may hit this, so we may have to take this after all. But even though it's really not that hard, this is a couple hours worth of work if you know what you're doing. Yeah, there's the parts over there, right here, a couple of little parts, no big deal. You take your time. You got me to ask questions if you have any problems. All right, so what I'm gonna do, then we're gonna have to take off this mount. So you're gonna have to jack up the engine with a floor jack, and then we're gonna slide the crane in. We're gonna take this mount off and the bracket. And what I'm gonna do is on the bottom, you see the crank bolt? It sticks out. I'm gonna take just the crank bolt off, and we should have enough room to pull it out. All right, you take the bracket out, 17 millimeter nut, 14 millimeter bolt, another 14 millimeter nut. You take that off. These are 14 millimeter, 1, 2, and 3. Take this out. All right. You can take the idler pulley. See this one out? It may not even be in the way, but the crank bolt may be. And like I said, I'm going to take that off, and we're going to hook up the crane. Yeah, on this mount, there's a Forte bolt over here. All right, so what I did is I put this that I had, this hook, I swapped that one out instead of this one, because I'm afraid maybe it would have hit something here. It's kind of wide, I don't know. So I just put this, keep it nice and neat. And over here, I'm not using this hook over here. I put one over here. so it clears here. All right. And so now the only thing we got left to do is just take this 14 millimeter out and just push the engine over, and we're going to take it out. Yours may not come apart that easy. This one didn't. You may have to put like a little wedge in there and tap it with a hammer, very little on a surface right around here to get it to come out, because sometimes the dowels get corroded and it's tough to get it out. So now it's pretty much loose. Just get a crowbar now and just slightly pop it out. And as you take it out, you do it slow. You check, make sure there's no lines or wires that you missed that you're going to rip out. Okay, you look in the back. All right, as you jack it out, you're going to see the converter bolts over here, flywheel bolts over there. See, they just got to clear. Make sure the AC compressor is not going to come up with it and rip out the lines. All right. So, yeah, I'll show you. Go a little bit at a time like this. When you feel a little bit of resistance, you start looking around. All right, you make sure it's all clear in the back. The AC compressor. Oh, there we go. All right. You come around this side. And again, did I have to take the that bolt out? I don't think so, but you know, I did anyway, make it easier. No big deal. You see on the side, there's nothing. So now what I'm gonna do, and as you take it out, be careful it doesn't hit anything or rip anything, these wires, or rip anything out. All right? It's nice to have somebody else with you while you're guiding it, while they're doing it. Slow, easy does it. You don't wanna rush. All right, it's just basically out. It's a pretty tight fit, but it works. Just be careful when you're going over here. All right, you still got room. And over here. All right. Because usually these engines come out through the bottom, but you don't have a lift that you can drop everything. Hyundai says that the engine can't come out through the top, but then again, what do they know? All right, you got enough room here, and it could just come right out. And she's out. All right, you may want to protect the vehicle. Okay, it's fine, everything's fine, but you may want to protect it. You don't want to scratch it. It's up to you. All right, hang the compressor with a piece of wire until you get the engine in there. Keep a jack on the engine transmission to keep it level. You don't want to put too much stress on those mounts. And basically that's it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on a stand, see whatever's different from the 2013 Kia Soul to the 2016 Kia Rio. A couple of little minor things, not the long block, not engine, not the crank or the head and everything like that, but the valve cover and with other little things. All right, guys, MotorCarNut, please subscribe, hit that like button. Any questions pertaining to this video, leave them below. I answer all my questions. I appreciate all the feedback I'm getting, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.